Do you have hay fever, an allergy to pollens or other plant-borne allergens? Are you allergic to mold or fragrances or preservatives or dust mites or other chemicals or natural elements? Do you dread the approach of spring every year and an increasingly long pollen season? Do you cringe at the sight of flowers blooming? Or perhaps you fight with inflammation, sneezing, watery eyes, and other symptoms when you're exposed to other substances. If you are, you're part of a dramatically increasing population of people with allergies. At least 10% of children and middle-aged adults have hay fever, and that's just hay fever. Many more millions of people have other types of allergies. And allergy incidence is increasing. The emergence of springtime is now dreaded by more people every year and increasingly all year long. Hi, my name is Case Adams and I'm a California naturopath and board-certified alternative medicine practitioner. But I'm also a former allergy sufferer. I've been researching and investigating the immune system for many years, and I've discovered some amazing things that will astound you. But first, let me tell you my allergy story. As a teenager and young adult, I lived on sailboats for probably a good 10 years total. As you might know, sailboats are surrounded by moisture, so they tend to harbor lots of mold spores, especially older sailboats. Well, needless to say, after a few years of sleeping, eating, and living in mold spores, I got a bad mold allergy. And heck, this one was tough. When I'd enter a room with even a little bit of mold, my sinuses would light up and I'd sneeze over and over, sometimes as much as 100 sneezes in a row. Tears would stream from my eyes, my throat would seize up, and my sinuses would alternatively run and stuff up. It was awful, and I needed to understand this. I'd look around and see others in the same room having no problem at all while I was immersed in allergic reaction. Of course, when my surroundings didn't have any mold, I was fine. But once I came into contact with even a little mold on my clothing or in a car or garage, or even some old curtains in someone else's house, I was off to the sneezing races. Sneeze after sneeze after sneeze. After completing my doctorate in naturopathic training, I focused my research attention on this issue. Why are some of us, seemingly healthy in all other respects, more subject to allergies than others? And certainly over the years I did many consults with people who had different types of allergies, some to mold and others to pollens, dander, dust mites, and surprisingly other things. What made these folks so different from those that didn't have allergies to these things? Needless to say, my naturopathic training steeped me in traditional healing, the study of ancient methods of healing handed down over the centuries. I've studied Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, Kampo medicine, Western herbalism, Native American medicine, homeopathy, and of course traditional naturopathy, among others. In modern medicine, we use clinical research to establish evidence of healing, but these ancient healing traditions come with a different sort of clinical evidence, one that covers a span of time and experience healing millions, even billions of people. These medicines were handed down from practitioner to apprentice, and with each generation came additional experience in using particular healing methods, on top of the experience evidence handed to them by their mentor. This, of course, has created a time-tested and large population clinical format where each healer added their own population of patients to the populations of earlier generations. Over the centuries, these sciences have accumulated such rich knowledge in the use of plants and other natural elements to heal, knowledge that's being proven out in today's clinical research. And mind you, I didn't ignore the clinical research evidence as I investigated allergies in the immune system. Rather, I used these deep traditions as a foundation upon which to further prove out those natural means to reestablish the body's equilibrium. Yes, natural healing is quite different from the philosophy of today's Western medicine. Western medicine has become entrenched in the process of naming a condition and then prescribing a particular chemical medication in order to try to relieve the symptoms of the said condition. Let's say, for example, that you had an oil leak in your car that leaked on your garage floor and driveway. So you bring the car to a mechanic, and the mechanic spends 10 minutes with you and tells you to put a bucket underneath the car to catch the oil. He sends you home with your car and bucket and says to empty the bucket of oil every 2 days and call him if it gets any worse. Certainly, while the oil won't leak onto the garage floor and driveway, so long as you empty the bucket, the mechanic didn't fix the problem. In fact, the problem may actually get worse because as the car runs low on oil, the entire engine could seize up. The mechanic's process, in much of Western medicine's solutions to allergies, completely ignores the possibility of a resolution to the condition. A visit to a Western doctor will certainly yield a prescription of an antihistamine or other medication to reduce the symptoms of the allergy, allergy, and as long as you take the chemical, the allergic reaction may be reduced. But most chemical medications have significant side effects. When it comes to allergies, often this is drowsiness, insomnia, headaches, nausea, and other problems. Most also warn you not to drive or operate any machinery on their allergy medication. Good luck living with those. But worse is the fact that the very process of the body's immune system rebalancing itself and regaining equilibrium is actually interfered by these chemicals. Why? Because in addition to the immune system trying to adjust to its current burden, it now has to deal with and dispose of the chemical metabolites that result as the body breaks down these pharmaceuticals. So how do the ancient natural healing traditions differ from the approach of Western medicine? While these traditions may not have incorporated all the biochemical metabolism taking place within your body, they did understand through trial and error over thousands of years that if you give the body certain natural substances, the body can heal itself. So how does this happen? The reality is that the human body is genetically designed to work within a natural setting and consume elements created by nature. The genetic mechanisms occurring throughout nature are consistent with the genes of our body and the genes of microorganisms that inhabit our bodies. Yes, we are speaking of our genome, but also our microbiome, the genetic makeup of the microorganisms that live within our bodies, along with our macrobiome. So what's a macrobiome? Our macrobiome is the genetic makeup of the natural world around us. Nature's macrobiome is amazing. Let me give you just one example. In order to protect their seeds, their coming offspring, plants will produce certain chemicals that protect the seeds against invasion. This could be invasion by the elements, the sun, wind, heat, and cold, but it can also include invasion by fungi, bacteria, insects, and other invaders. So what does a plant do to protect its seeds? It produces hundreds, sometimes thousands of biochemicals that prevent these invasions within its fruits or seed pods. Each of these plant biochemicals can have singular or even multiple qualities related to their ability to protect the seeds. Illustrating this, scientists have found that tomatoes contain more than 10,000 protective biochemicals. Now, the amazing thing about these numerous biochemicals that plants produce to protect their seeds, along with other parts of their bodies such as their roots, leaves, stems, and flowers, is that they just happen to also give the human body the ability to protect itself and even heal itself of various conditions. Let's use an example of antioxidants. Antioxidants produced by plants also work for our bodies. They help us rid our bodies of free radicals that damage our cells and organs over time. Antioxidants are only one example of hundreds and thousands of natural biochemicals plants produce to maintain health. In fact, the overwhelming evidence from thousands of research studies on medicinal plants is that biochemicals in medicinal foods and herbs work synergistically. They work to balance each other. At least 60% of modern pharmaceuticals are based upon the biochemicals produced by plants. But most pharmaceuticals have just one active chemical. A plant medicine might have this one chemical too, but it will also contain many others that will balance the effects of this chemical within our bodies. For this reason, herbal medicines are known for their safety and lack of adverse side effects. Anyway, using nature's tools of foods, herbs, and other natural strategies, I conquered my mold allergy. Today I can walk into a room full of mold and literally have no reaction outside of knowing that the room has mold in it. No longer do I tear up, no longer does my throat get raw, no longer do I get feverish, no longer will my nose get stuffy or run, and no longer will I sneeze 100 times in a row or even 10 times in a row. I didn't actually invent any miracle cure either, no magic potent. No secret remedy that's hidden from public view. What I actually did was come to understand how the immune system works and just what kinds of herbs, foods, and other natural strategies help the body to rebalance the immune system and its sensitivities. You see, the immune system's pretty smart. Once an invader gets into the body, the immune system will study the invader carefully. It'll develop a strategy to break it down and purge it from the body. Then it'll remember this strategy. Our immune system can remember literally millions of different types of chemicals, microorganisms, and environmental toxins and how to destroy each one of them. Now, understanding how nature's macrobiome will stimulate, rebuild, and rebalance our immune system is definitely a science. I've spent years understanding this science and understanding how certain plants, foods, and other natural compounds strengthen our bodies and help our body's immune system rebalance itself. Just imagine waking up one morning and realizing that your allergy is gone. Even though the allergen is still around, it doesn't provoke that inflammatory immune response that it used to. This doesn't mean your immune system stops protecting itself, but if you use the right combination of the macrobiome and microbiome to help your immunity rebalance itself, the immune system will be sharp as a tack, yet not stimulate that out-of-control inflammatory allergic response. This is what my book intends to teach you: how to use nature to rebalance your immune system so that your body will be stronger and able to respond to your environment appropriately. While these strategies work for me and many others I've consulted in my practice, my book is not anecdotal. It's not my own conjuring or theories. My allergy book will define the different types of allergies and allergens. Then it'll explain how the immune system really works, inclusive of our microbiome. It then describes the real culprits of allergies. The book will then give you hundreds of tools to use to rebalance your body, including food, supplements, herbs, aromatherapy, and many others. The book will also show you how to rebuild your mucosal membranes, typically damaged in most allergy sufferers. Then the book introduces a number of practical strategies to boost your immune system, along with a tracking system to manage your progress. This is no hype, no fluff, no promises that can't be kept, just the facts, proven methods backed by clinical and scientific evidence. It's not only based upon thousands of years of traditional medicine. Its conclusions are grounded in hundreds of modern clinical studies. These provide the basis for proving out the traditional healing qualities of the foods, medicinal herbs, and biologicals that I discuss in my book. I know from my own clinical experience that no two people are exactly alike, and as a result, the precise formula that works for one person may not work as well for another. For this reason, I've documented literally hundreds of strategies in my book. These strategies provide the reader with choices according to certain diet restrictions, availability to certain herbs or formulations, and other alternatives. The information also gives the science and research so that one's doctor can be consulted for advice. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to claim that this book will replace your doctor, nor am I claiming this is a cure for any disease. What I'm claiming is this book provides you with the information and empowers you to find the strategies and tools to encourage your body's immune system to rebuild itself. I really appreciate your time listening and watching this. Be well.